Good morning, dear students. Welcome back again with a new session of the lesson Life Process, lesson number 15. Already, we have studied about some parts of the brain like cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata. The most important part of the brain now is we are going to study about is the spinal cord. The spinal cord is a part of central nervous system and it is held within a vertebral column. Last time I already explained to you that backbone is there. Now backbone, one bone above the other bone, and in between small hole is there through which one nerve is passing. The picture is shown about the uh, spinal cord through which it is passing through the spinal, which is passing through the vertebral column. You can see the picture of the brain, and below that one long tube-like structure is there which is red in color, and its nerves are spreading everywhere. So this is nothing but the spinal cord. Spinal cord is a part of the brain or is a part of the central nervous system and is held within a vertebral column. It is slightly thick but gradually tapers towards the end. You can see the upper part of the brain red color is thick, and as it goes down the red color goes on thickness goes on decreasing, so it tapers as it goes down. There is a thread-like fibrous structure, and it's at its end. It is called as filium terminale. So this filium terminale is the uh, hair-like structure is there, which is attached to the spinal cord. Now, brain, different regions and its functions. The parts of the brain, which you already discussed, we are going to discuss it once again. Cerebrum, main function of the cerebrum, control of voluntary movements. Voluntary movements means those movements which are controlled by the brain. Then concentration, planning, decision making, memory, intelligence, intellectual activities. All these functions are carried out by the cerebrum. It occupies the two-third part, that is approximately 67% of the brain is occupied by cerebrum. Now, cerebellum, the main function of the cerebrum, coordination of the voluntary movements. The control and coordination, the movement in a systematic order is very much essential, which is controlled by the cerebellum. And maintenance of the body balance. Now we are walking, so in order to maintain the balance of our body, the cerebellum plays an important role. Then medulla oblongata. Now there are certain actions which are not controlled by the brain. It is controlled by actually medulla oblongata. So involuntary is there, which is beyond the control of the brain. Control of involuntary activities like the beating of the heart, blood circulation, breathing, sneezing, coughing, salivation, etc. These are controlled by medulla oblongata. Spinal cord. Now, conduction of impulses from the skin towards the brain. If like sensation of touching, then hot coldness or injury, any sensation on the skin that is reaching, that sensation is reaching to the brain with the help of the spinal cord. Then conduction of impulses from brain to the glands. Now, from brain to the effective also is carried out with the help of the spinal cord. Then functions of the center of coordination of reflex action. Now, what is reflex action? Immediate action. Now, in order that any action has to be carried out, a long process is taking place. That is, first of all, from the nerves, from the skin, it goes to the brain. From brain gives the order, and then the action is being taken. But there are certain actions which does not require so much of time. An action has to be taken very fast. Now, under such conditions, the message is directly going to the spinal cord instead of going to the brain, and immediately action is being taken. Such an action required as reflex action, which we are going to discuss ahead. Now, PNS, that is peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system consists of nerves originating from the central nervous system. These nerves connect the central nervous system with all parts of the body. There are two types: cranial nerves, spinal nerves. What is cranial nerves? Cranial name itself suggests that it starts from the craniata, that is from the head. The nerves originating from the brain are called as cranial nerves. They are associated with various parts of the head, thorax, and abdomen. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. The next is spinal nerves. Nerves originating from the spinal cord are called as spinal nerves. These are associated with the arms, legs, skin, and some other parts of the body. There are in all 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Now, the last type of nervous system is autonomic nervous system. The autonomous nervous system consists of nerves of involuntary organs like heart, lungs, stomach, etc. It is not under the control of our will. Now, in the previous paragraph, we have discussed about the one of the function of the spinal cord, that is reflex action. So, what is reflex action actually? An immediate and involuntary response given to the stimulus from the environment is called as reflex action. Any change in the surrounding is there, and because of which the change takes place in our body immediately, that is called as reflex action. Like dust particles entering into the eyes, immediately we blink our eyes, that is called as reflex action. Sometimes we react to the incident without any thinking on our part or control over the reaction. This is a response given to the certain stimuli from the surrounding. In such situations, proper control and coordination is achieved. So, response to the stimuli. What is response? For example, if I consider dust particles entering into the eyes, so what is the response? Blinking of the eyes. What is stimuli? The dust particles entering into the eyes. So that is called response to stimuli, which takes place very immediately. The In case of plants, you know the example of touch me not. There also response to stimuli taking place, but their nerves are not there. But still, what is the response and stimuli over there? Responses leaves are closed. Stimuli is what we are touching it. Now, chemical control. Now, here certain action was controlled by brain, uh, which was immediate, taking place very fast. Short term action was there, but there are certain where chemicals are involved for the process. So that is called chemical control. That is with the help of the certain hormones. Let's see how it is being explained. Control and coordination in our body is also brought about with the help of certain chemical substances called as hormones. Hormones are secreted by the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands are also called as ductless glands because it does not have any tubes which is connected to any of the organ. But with the help of the blood, it is being transported to all parts of the body. Since it does not have any tube, therefore it is also called as ductless glands. These glands do not have any arrangement of their own to either store or carry their secretions. Hence, as soon as hormones are produced, they are directly released in the blood circulation. Thus, though these endocrine glands present in specific locations of the body, the secretion reach to all parts of the body via blood. Endocrine glands, along with the nervous system, is responsible for the control and coordination of the body. These two systems help each other to control and integrate the various activities of the body. So, hormone plays an important role in the overall action taken by the body, which is where hormones are responsible. The marked difference between these two systems is the nerve impulse and are fast but short lived, whereas actions of hormones are very slow but they are long lasting. So hormones, the process is slow, but it remains or it effects remains for a longer time. Whereas the brain or nervous system, the action is very slow, fast. It takes very, but it does not last for a longer time. Now, It is very important that hormones are secreted only in a required quantity, and there is a special mechanism which controls the quantity and the timing of the hormone secretion. For example, whenever there is an increase in the blood glucose level, certain cells in the pancreas get stimulated, and as a response, they release a greater quantity of insulin. Now, if this changes does not take place in our body in a proper amount, then there are chances that excess of glucose will pass out through the urine, and we may suffer from the diabetes. So, likewise, many such hormonal actions are taking place in our body. Uh, Hormonal changes in our body takes place because of the hormones after the age of maturity. That we are going to study in the next year, in the next class, that is in the 10th standard. Now, here hormones are there at particular place, it functions, and which hormone is secreted, and its functions are being discussed into the table. So we are going to discuss about them in detail so that we can understand something about it. The first gland which we are going to discuss about is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, it is located where? Above the pituitary gland in the forebrain. You can see here in the diagram it is there. Hypothalamus at the forebrain, the top. So we got the location. Then what does it secretes? Secretes the hormones which control the activity of secretory cells of the pituitary gland. So pituitary gland secretes certain hormones or it's carry out its function. Now what are its function? Controls the pituitary gland. Next is pituitary. It is located at the base of the brain. In the diagram you can see uh, brain is there, and below the brain pituitary gland is there. So location we have came to know. Now what are the hormones which is being secreted? Growth hormone, then adrenocorticotropic hormone, we call it as ADH, then thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, then prolactin, then FSH, we also call it as follicle stimulating hormone, then luteinizing hormone, in short we call it as LH, then oxytocin, then antidiuretic hormone. So these are the various hormones which are secreted by the pituitary gland. Now what are their functions? Stimulates growth of bones, means responsible for the growth of bones, then growth of adrenal gland, which is responsible for the control of diabetes, which is below present over the kidney, then stimulates thyroid gland, then stimulates milk production for the mother which is delivering a baby, then controls the growth of gonads, the gonad that is private parts, maturity, then controls menstrual cycle in female, menstrual cycle and ovaries, then contracts uterus during parturition, regulates water level in the body. So these are the various functions of these hormones which are being secreted with the help of the pituitary gland. Then next is thyroid. Where is thyroid present? The location of the thyroid. Again, we'll try to see it in the picture about the thyroid. You can see where is the thyroid actually present here at the neck, in the frontal part of it. Then antilateral sides of trachea in the neck region. The hormones which are secreted are thyroxine and calcitonin. The functions: controls the growth of body and metabolic activities, controls calcium metabolism and calcium level in the blood. The next is parathyroid. Now, parathyroid name itself suggests it is somewhere very near to the thyroid gland. You can see here, thyroid gland is there, and parathyroid gland just below it is there. Now, four glands behind thyroid glands. Four glands here, FOR actually is front. Then hormones which are secreted is parrot hormone controls metabolism of calcium and phosphorus. Definitely is related to bones. Definitely phosphorus and the calcium controls the metabolism of calcium and phosphorus. Then behind the stomach, four types of alpha cells 20%, beta cells 70%, delta cells 5%, and pp cells, F cells 5%. And the hormones which are secreted are glucagon, insulin, somatostatin, pancreatic polypeptide. Then stimulates liver to convert glycogen into glucose, stimulates liver and convert excess blood glucose into glycogen. Then controls the level of insulin and glucagon. Then controls movements of intestine and thereby glucose absorption. Also control the secretion of pancreatic juice. Then adrenal gland. Anterior means at the top part of each of the kidney. So at the top of the kidney, adrenal gland is present. The hormone secreted is adrenaline and non-adrenaline. The function of it is controls the behavior during crisis and emotional situations. So if any crisis is there of uh, any of the say energy or under emotional situations, they are responsible to control. Now, stimulates heart and its conducting tissues and metabolic activities, maintains the balance of sodium and potassium, and stimulates metabolism. So, very important part. It plays it roles. It's an important role is there in the movement of the body, because if sodium, the balance of sodium and potassium is not maintained, then movement of muscles and tissues does not take place properly. Ovary on either side of the uterus in the woman. Then hormone secreted is estrogen, stimulates growth of endometrium, stimulates growth of secondary sexual characteristics in women, then prepares the endometrium and conception and maintains the pregnancy. This is in case of woman's body. Then in case of male, in the scrotum, testis is present in the scrotum. The hormone secreted is testosterone, and the function of testosterone stimulates growth of secondary sexual characters like beard, mustache, then horse voice, etc. in men. And the last hormones, it is in thymus, that is in thoracic cage near the heart. The hormone secreted is thymosin, and it controls the cells which give rise to immunity. Thus, we have discussed about all types of hormones. Now, these hormones are also will be discussed in the next year of science part 2. So here we have completed this lesson. Remaining other lessons we'll discuss in the next video. Till then, have a great day.